Top of the morning, everybody. Nice and chilly this morning. Was gonna off-road and on-road, but that pump's broken, so just off-road until I cycle around. Hopefully this guy don't steal my spot. But today, gonna be story time. I'm gonna share my story of how I got into this business pretty much from the beginning. You know, work ethic and all that stuff. I think it's a cool story, so stick around and enjoy it. Complications of a fuel pump going down there. Swing over here, this old boy slid in, taking the big rig pump. He's a big rig. Oh, I really need to start getting that fuel tank set up at the house. I got the trailer dogged over snowbank right there. I don't know if I can squeeze it, but I'll just wait for this old boy to move. Yeah, boy. At some point you gotta go, dang. Oh, look at this big trailer. Are you kidding me, guy? What in the... This is pretty bad. When the guy with the little trailer, he can't figure out what he's gonna do with himself. But the guy that's 55 feet freaking long, okay, fella, put it in the ditch a little bit. You don't need to come over here. Man, I tell you. I guarantee you that guy cannot back up a boat at the boat ramp. That thing and more than likely ditch it. Might end up just, I think I'll just walk to the back. But there's thousands of dollars of mistake right there I got to own up to. I got that video made. I'm hoping that FAE will help me out on that one, but I don't know. Multitasker truck, fuel station, tow rig, junk parts rig, hauler. Gonna take that Prime Tech right now. Oh, that one. Tavic can come get that one. Poor machine having def on it. You know that machine don't need that garbage. Got old school loaded up. Gotta go down this kind of sketchy little gravel road. It wasn't so bad the first couple trips, but you know, weather and snow all melted, but I think we should be fine. Less pine needles on it this round, so hopefully that helps the situation just a little bit. Get down this, and I got a story for you guys. Tell any difference on how this place looks? Got a couple Prime Techs free out here. She'll clean up real good. Oh yeah, this is a lot more comfortable coming down at this. I got way more weight too. Like 10,000-12,000 pounds more weight, and it's, I don't want to knock on wood or nothing or jinx ourselves, but she's going a lot more comfortably. This road's got a cattle guard from the 1800s. They don't even run cattle here anymore. Railroad tracks, and then it's got a narrow bridge that you got to go underneath, and you can only fit one vehicle. This is like Ninja Warrior going through here, but with a truck. Scared a Prius coming through here the other morning. Alright, so we just finished up a 50-acre job. Had two Prime Techs, 12 and an excavator there. Driving home, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys 4-in-1 on the whole B-Belt and Son, me and everything. I think it's kind of a cool story. I'm not trying to share it because I feel like I owe some justification to what I got. You were waiting. I don't know why you waited and then tried to cut me off. So we'll go back all the way back in the day before any of this ever started, before YouTube and working on diesel trucks and all that stuff. Right out of high school, all I wanted to do was skateboard. Screw this, I'm getting on the freeway. I was gonna go the back way, but nope. Right out of high school, skateboarding was what I wanted to do. No diesel stuff was involved, none of that. I was driving that 89 K5 Blazer, had myself a little skateboard shop in the back of it and make extra money. Got a $2,000 loan from my old man. I bought 200 blank skateboards. Came out to be like 11 bucks a piece or something like that. Threw grip tape on them. It's cheaper for me to skateboard, and then it was something I could make money on doing it. So I was selling for 25 bucks or so, which was half of what they wanted at a skate shop. So trying to make a little business out of a hobby was what I was aiming for. Quickly realized that skateboarding, even though I loved the hell out of it, I skated every day, 3 hours a day, for months on end. Like, I was trying to make something of that, either with filming or skating it. But just the crowd locally, I just wasn't feeling it anymore. A lot of things started happening in my life that I felt like, you know what, maybe I'm gonna get out of this town, you know, stop getting wrapped up in the same old mix. I mean, I wasn't doing drugs or none of that stuff, but I just didn't want to be in that crowd anymore. I wanted to make new friends. Ended up buying myself that first 12 valve as an automatic, and I always wanted a stick shift 12 valve. Drove that thing for about a year as an automatic, and a wrecked 5-speed truck came for sale on Craigslist, low miles. Ended up picking that bad boy up, and I had no knowledge anything mechanically except for, you know, change spark plugs, oil change stuff on my dirt bikes and all that. I didn't really need to care before, I guess. So my buddy and I just started ripping that truck apart, pulled the engine and trans. Next weekend after that, we went ahead and started ripping my truck apart. Perfectly functional 12 valve truck. Just ripped the engine out, ripped the auto trans out, stabbed all that other stuff in there. Man, I was stoked. I had myself 5-speed 12 valve. That was a good day right there, I'll tell you what. Really enjoyed working on that truck so much, I started looking for more project parts trucks so I could flip those and make some extra cash. Next one I found had blown up automatic transmission. Got that thing for a pretty good price and brought it home, rebuilt the trans, put it back on the road, tappet cover gasket, a couple other things that I had, you know, tinkered with on the last truck, so I knew about them. Sold that truck, made some money. Started feeling, you know, this is pretty nice, making a couple bucks here, rather than just straight minion wage and stuff like that. Started thinking, maybe I want to be a diesel mechanic. I always seen the advertisements for WyoTech, and I figured, what the heck, I'll try that. Turns out, if you want to be a diesel mechanic, the best diesel WyoTech division they had to offer was in Laramie, Wyoming. Class started in about 4 months. Had a recruiter come to the house, and I'll tell you, this is when reality really set in about kind of growing up. I think I was about 20, maybe 21 or something like that, and I didn't know how much WyoTech was going to cost. I was like, sure, I'd get a student loan or something like that, you know, young and dumb. But he tells me, you're a good candidate for the school. Be about $30,000 for tuition for the 9-month program. And I thought, whoa, that's getting up there. Thought, well, maybe I'll just work my ass off until I go to school. That way I'll have money for rent, I'll have money for food, and I can have a good chunk of the tuition taken down. And I did. The next 4 months, I did every odd job, 7 days a week. Picked up another project truck, made a good chunk of money off of that one because that was a good flip. I was probably one of my better ones in my early days of flipping a truck. It was one that ran through a ditch, fender, control arms, a couple things like that. Gave her a rattle can paint job, and she was ready to go. Did a couple other things. I had some investments tied up when I left. It's kind of weird to say as a 20-year-old, some stuff that was going to pay later on once I got out there, sent the money to me and all that. So I was pretty well off when I was headed to WyoTech, but it's still a big note right there. And a lot of kids will take out $1,000 a month personal note to go towards rent and food, and I wasn't about to do that. Like the third day that I was there, I was out job hunting, and the only place I really liked, you know, there's pizza places, delivery guy, made good money, but I liked the idea of working at Boot Barn, and worked there, did great. You know, it paid my rent, paid some of the food. One saving grace I did have, because I was very stingy with my money back then, I didn't buy anything. I won a $1,000 Christmas raffle, good for various places around town to get these little coupons. There's one fuel place in town every 2 weeks. This is how little I drove that 12 valve out there. 50 bucks, and fuel was way cheaper too. 50 bucks every 2 weeks, maybe 70 bucks if I get a little adventure in or something. Because all I went to was work and school. I just buckled down. That was the first time in my life I ever got straight A's. And I'm not trying to brag about any of this, it's just the story. I'm trying to say this as humble as I can, because I felt like if I was going to pay that kind of money for that schooling, I was going to, you know, take delivery of it. What in the hell? There's a coyote right there just trying to take that turkey across the road. I hope I got that on film. Yeah, well, that was kind of cool. I thought it was a dog. I thumped the brakes. I should have just ran it over. But anyway, perfect attendance. Did everything that I was hoping to get out of that school. Came time to getting a job. Christmas vacation, I drove 1,000 miles back to the house, but I stopped at the Barrick Gold Mine out near Elko, Nevada, because that's where grandmother lives. Got a piece of property out there, and I felt, you know, maybe I'll build a little cabin, move out there. It's not too bad of a commute. You work like, I forget what it was, like 4 12s or something like that, 3 12s, I don't know, a lot of hours. How you make it in the business starting off, or any business really, if you're just making minimum wage, nothing wrong with it, but you just got to work a lot of hours. And I went out there, took the tour of it. I pretty much had that job sewn up. I, you know, just needed to graduate school and go to that. Graduation time came, and I just, you know, I did a lot of hard thinking of all the stuff I left behind at, you know, home, a lot of opportunity out there, because once you become a decent mechanic, get your piece of paper, you can go anywhere in the country, and that's what I really liked about that opportunity. And you got to take out even more loans if you didn't have a big chunk of cash set up beforehand. If you did have the chunk of cash set up, how'd you get that? You're making good money before, why go become a mechanic and make the same wages but have all that extra debt? Going and fire up the Snap-on or Mac tool guy, getting all the, you know, toolbox sorted out. You can get Craftsman, Harbor Freight, a lot of Master Techs will run that stuff because it's affordable. But again, that's more stuff that I'd have to go buy. And I thought, you know what? Talked to my dad and I said, I'm thinking I'll come back and work for a little while for you and all the other clients that I left behind, just, you know, mowing yards, doing all that kind of stuff, flipping trucks. You know, I was a lot more comfortable working at home. And I wanted to try that again, even though I just spent a year of my life, $40,000 on schooling, that I'm glad that I went out there and did that, because that was a learning experience, just, you know, just a growing up situation. So I came back, had a couple business partners. I ended up working down on this ranch. When I wasn't working for my dad, I was working on the ranch, and I just saved up my minion money for like 4 years. And I had a pretty good partnership going on with this guy. I had a lot of investments around town, and things were going good. Came about time, I thought, you know what, maybe I should buy my own house. And this is, you know, a story of kind of betrayal and defeat. Defeat's only something that you allow. You know, I kind of accepted what happened and just moved on. Broke ties with a lot of people because of stuff like this, but business partner knew I was trying to buy a house. He ends up trying to snake me on the house. Shows up when I was looking it over with a realtor. He's trying to buy it because it needed work, so he wanted to buy it and flip it. You know, he had cash reserves and stuff like that. He could be able to buy it out from underneath me, so choose. That made me mad. All that money I had saved up for a house, and he was looking to just rob me of the house that I was stoked on. This is where that defeat, you can't let it beat you, because it worked out in the end, because I took that money that I was going to use for the down payment on a house. I mean, it's a good chunk, and I took that and invested it in the business, because I thought, you know, how am I going to make myself as a, you know, look at this truck. What in the world kind of a sissy mobile is that? I'm just kidding, that's a big Ford, he's tough. But anyway, I thought, how could I make myself more valuable as an employee? And that's try to buy into the business, partner up a little bit. My first investment was buying on that dump trailer we had, quarter stake. That helped out a lot, because that got them into buying a dump trailer. So we did a lot of dump runs, a lot of hauling material off sites, and that helped my paycheck a lot, because I had, you know, a little bit of trucking wage to go on top. And now that I wasn't buying that house, I ended up buying that little cabin that I always wanted to build out there in that property out by Elko. Had that stashed up on a lot, lived in that bad boy for a little bit, saved money, and ended up buying my truck I'm driving now, trailer, and 50% stake in the excavator. And that helped my, you know, just the wages and everything I made so much more. Just towing equipment to and from job sites, I make more than I did, you know, working all day long as just pure laborer, you know, pulling brush. And I mean, there was a lot of hustle that went down those first couple years that Hoss and I really started working together full time. And I mean, like those long days, 12, 14 hour days where you're just packing brush thinking, what in the world are we doing? go home and you're just so tired and hungry, you just kind of skip on the fork and just go ahead and just eat the food with your hands. You know, just grab the steak and just, you know, a lot of days like that. So that's why I really wanted us to get more mechanically involved, have a lot more equipment and stuff like that. So that's what we ended up doing, have a lot more mulchers and all that now involved, and having the track chipper helps a ton. And all those people that kind of screwed me over back in the day, we just don't even talk to them no more. Ended up buying a house right down the road that worked out so much better for me, the business and everything. Got plenty of room for access and truck trailer, don't have to turn nothing around, just loop it. Worked out so much better. And I think a lot of people, they view somebody with any shred of success, they think, oh, it's all spoon-fed. If you think it's spoon-fed, or if you think what I'm doing is easy, not trying to sound entitled or nothing like that, just you come out and knock it down. You know, you think, got a brand new Prime Tech or brand new anything on site, I gotta sign that piece of paper saying that's my responsibility for that machine there. That's a pretty big, if you don't own it, that's a pretty big note to carry if you screw that thing up. You know, it falls into your lap of insurance and all that stuff. And then when it came to expanding the business, broke down and, you know, do a lot of moonlighting, kind of under the table kind of stuff, but it was realistically time I needed to get as a contractor's license, so that when we're doing these bigger jobs like that one we just knocked out, that's feasible with a contractor's license. Those bigger, higher paying jobs, you got to have that contractor's license. So I got that, got the LTO. Just a lot of those steps that they take a lot of time to get done, and I was willing to step in as a partnership with my dad on this, because I remember back in high school I had a buddy say, why don't you start your own tree company? You work with your old man, you know the ropes. It's like, well, why would I want to be, you know, what I want to be against him? Why would I want to be challenging him for jobs and stuff like that? I'm going to completely different level when you start off, but it's like, why would I want to be an opposing force? Why not partner up with him and build up a company to something that, you know, well, this works out good for us. There's a lot of equipment now, and it's just the two of us, and it works out great for us. But have all the paperwork and all that stuff lined up, that's the really crappy part of the job. And I think it's funny when people say daddy's money in the comments, because, well, I'm a father now, so I can spend my own money now because I'm a dad. It's fun like that. When it comes down to just when it comes down to just long hours working, get your money to work for you has helped me out so much more than trying to be diverse and open up other opportunities that not only help you, but they help other people. All my hats, my uncle's company makes all this stuff. Does that. Hire him to do that stuff. Same thing with my sweatshirts, t-shirts, that whole nine. Taylor makes the stickers. She runs a website. I give her a percentage. I pay my uncle for that stuff. I get a small kick out of it, but it helps their businesses and helps their pocket. Got rental units. I still flip trucks on the side. You know, just any angle that I can, I try to make a buck, trying to get ahead. Because I'll be straight up honest with you, the times that I did spend with my mom when I was younger, I didn't enjoy it at all, because she didn't put in the work. She didn't try to get ahead. And if we had to go to the store when I was hanging out with my mom, we were that family that was walking to the grocery store. And there's nothing wrong with that. They're getting it done. But it's just saying, I wanted to have a little bit more. And vehicle is a big deal for some families, and I like having plenty of backups. If you follow the channel, you know that good and well. But, you know, I just didn't want that life. You know, I wanted to be able to be ahead best I can, and you just got to work for that. And then thanks to you guys with the YouTube, follow me on there, watching my videos, that provides a very, very good cushion. And second channel, that's starting to break a little revenue now, so I gotta thank you guys so much for, you know, keeping me a little bit comfortable. I don't want to get too comfortable, because you get lazy when that kind of stuff happens. So you always got to be kind of trying to get a little more ahead every single day. I don't really try to compete with anybody except for one person. Sounds ridiculous, but it's just yourself. You know, that's where your competitor is at. You're trying to be better than you were yesterday. Trying to make that ground up, be that goal you want to be. And that's all I've been trying to do. If I say I want to get something, I mean that. I don't want to be all that BS. You start something, chase it down, you get that. And that's the way I've been with the cars that I've been chasing, the jobs, the machines, the trailers, all that stuff. I think when it comes down to just ordering a truck, like, that's not simple for me. That's like, there's a lot of time, energy, thought, planning, and, you know, go with the best route possible. Sometimes you just got to buy online. If it's going to save you 50, 60%, you got to buy online. It doesn't make you a bad guy. You're just looking out for yourself. And I try to buy locally and all that, but, you know, you got to be realistic. Whole point of this story, I'm pretty proud of how the V-Belt and Son channel's done. That's a nickname that Haas tried to give to me when I was in 7th or 8th grade, when I was 13 or 14 years old, for being a sissy on the soccer team. Too much whining and complaining, he called me a V-Belt. Somehow I ended up sticking that name back at him. I wanted to name the company after him, after the V-Belt name, when we started actually getting everything legalized. And well, you guys started watching the channel, so the V-Belt and Son, more than just a business name, it's a YouTube channel name with unbelievably over 100,000 subscribers. So thank you guys very much. All I can say is, you know, nobody's privileged out there. You just gotta earn that shit. If you want something, you go out there and you work for it, and you don't stop until you get close to it, start to taste it, and then you push even harder. So, you know, I'm pretty grateful about everybody I got in my circle. If you got some people in your circle you're pulling you down, you're in the wrong circle. Find some people that are willing to grow with you and make something better for everybody involved. And that's exactly what Taylor, my dad, and uncle, and close friends that I got now. It's neat to see, like my buddy Tavitt, how much he's grown in the last couple of years as far as business-wise. It's pretty neat. And I hope I help some of you guys when it comes down to making purchase decisions on equipment for your business and stuff like that, because I really do try to find stuff I believe in, and I don't want to buy some junky stuff and show it to you guys and tell you it's great. I don't believe in that at all. I hate false advertisement. I'll buy something because I believe in it before I'll take something for free and tell you it's good, you know. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it. It's a long day, but we did finish that job up. We got rain coming tomorrow. Tavitt just texted me, he said he can haul that other prime down to Global. It's a little bit heavier than I want to haul past the scales, and he's legal for that heavier weight. So he'll get her knocked out. We'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, stay safe.